Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply Fun. I'm your host, Aries. This is Aaron. Today we'll be reviewing the Turrent Classico.
Which, after this one, will leave us with only one more of the Turrents that we actually bought to go ahead and review, and that's the one we're smoking right now, the Delicasso. Most of the labels all look pretty much the same, like that. I will say on the band on this one, the one thing that I really hate about the band is somebody used like super glue on them or something, because trying to remove them, you are likely to damage every single one of them, and they do not want to come off very easily. So with the I'm not talking the Delicasso, I'm talking the Classico. The Classico, though, you're likely to damage every band that you try to pull off. Rita had one earlier today. When she went to pull it off, it ended up leaving another string almost as long as the entire band to begin with.
I do want to say, for the review, the Classico we had went really good with this Fire and Spice limited edition.
Particularly near the end. Yeah. But again, here she is talking about something that should be at the end of the video, at the beginning of the video. Anyways, going on to the scent. I was picking up mild barley and cedar scents off the wrapper, foot, and head. It's not the prettiest looking cigar. It's got lots of lumps and bumps and veins, but the seams are pretty well hidden. And dry puff resulted in a very slight earthy sweetness to it.
The initial smell is, again, Turrents must make a cigar that you can just sit there and be addicted to just smelling the cigars because they're semi-heavenly. I picked up cedar malts and hops for my first, for my 2 minutes of sniffing before firing it up.
Alright, moving to the first third. The flavors start off mostly as cedar and mild hay. The finish is very short in the beginning of the Classico and dissipate very quickly, making it very hard to detect any flavors. But about an inch of the way in, about halfway through the first third, the finish lengthens quite substantially, and the flavors change more to a leather with a sort of sweet spice to it, and creamy-like smoothness with some pepper in it, but not enough to really affect anything, as it's mostly sweet.
Well, since he never asked me, I'm going to say, for my own records, my initial light-up, since he never gave me that option,
I didn't actually give my initial light-up.
Hay. So, my initial light-up was cedar and hay to this fine cigar.
I think that I didn't ask because it was so hard to detect anything that I didn't write anything for light-up, because I didn't detect any flavors at first.
Now, for my, that's what I'm going to say at that part. Now, for me, it was first third, I was picking up cedar, hay, leather, some type of nice fruity spice, followed by a creamy but buttery smooth finish on the first third.
Alright, getting to the halfway point, I was picking up chocolate and leather. That sweet spice was still there, kind of a fruity spice. The leather became more of a dominant flavor, and the finish even lengthened some more. And it was very nice and creamy, and by the end of the halfway point, I was picking up a lot of latte flavor with the chocolate, almost a mocha-like flavor.
So, for me, I picked up on my second third, or 2/3 as I call it, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. I picked up chocolate with leatheriness, with sweet spice, with a creamy butteriness, with the latte flavor, with about a milky flavor to it, followed by mild pepper, hints of cayenne pepper, and cinnamon. So I would say, because that cigar, the Classico, in my opinion so far, by 2/3, in my opinion, is more of a cigar for connoisseurs that can pick up all flavors of this flavor bomb. And,
I'll agree, this does have a lot of
And-
flavor, but we still got to finish up.
it's a type of cigar for advanced users because it's just
I
a
wouldn't-
complex cigar.
I'll address that at the end here. For the final third, I was still getting the latte creaminess with just a tad bit of pepper involved and some coffee and leather. The finish became very long now, and there was even some cayenne flavor or hot cinnamon in it, but it was tasty. It was not like, oh, that burns. Yeah. Instead it's, ooh, that tastes pretty good. And that's why she says the ginger cinnamon beer that she got from Stoli is actually a really good combination, because the cinnamon that's in that is about the same type of cinnamon you get in the final bits of this. Anyway,
Now,
let's finish up
for
on
my
yours.
third, and I'm going to speak about some other stuff as well after the third. And my final was I was picking up sweet spice to start off with that latte-ness, with mild pepper, with cedar, followed by cinnamon, cayenne pepper, leather, ginger, and licorice. And I just want to say also, the strength for the first third was medium body. Second third went to mild body, but the third one went to a full body.
Yes, I will say that this is a cigar that starts off mild and ends up pretty much medium to full. Now, I said I'd get back to something. What was that? That had to do with the complexity of the smoke. The changing flavors. Well, before I get to that, I want to say in the final third, I totally lost the kind of fruity sweetness that was there. I think it was replaced by the kind of cinnamon cayenne flavor. But this actually is a cigar where you can actually pick up the flavors. And so, to me, I would actually say this is a good introductory to a complex cigar that's got a lot of flavor in it and a lot of things that you can detect, because I think every single person is probably going to have a slightly different experience with this cigar. And I think that there's just so much flavor in it that you'll sit there and find something to enjoy about it during every bit of the cigar from beginning to finish.
As I said to you all, the viewers, that the cigar pretty much, in my opinion, was a complex flavor bomb of just tasty flavors. I do want to say, to finish on my notes, that the ash was gray and thick, came off very easy when the time came. The burn was evenly, since I'm trying to write more of a complex, in-depth review. The last two parts, and I'll finish with the finish, but first the construction. This test cigar that I started to smoke started to crack, and it was properly humidified. So technically, it was 1 out of 21 that actually did it. So, but it burned evenly, so the wrapper didn't just roll off because it cracked, and I was trying to roll it off. So
I will say that this was the Toro size, and for a Toro size, it took 1 hour and 45 minutes. To me, that was a very enjoyable thing to be able to have such a long smoke out of a Toro.
And I just want to say for the viewers also, but I'll get to that in a second, is the finish was a smooth, clean, a great finish, nice, long, and clean. The final part of it for me, it numbed the lips, but it was just a great, great cigar.
Now, I'm going to give this a 92, and mostly because it starts out very disappointing in the fact that there's almost no finish and no flavor. And once you get past that and into the first inch, once you've smoked maybe 10-15 minutes, you'll start picking up everything. And so it becomes very pleasant at that point. I haven't had many cigars that I could classify as being as complex and easy to detect flavors with. So 91 might be a little short from where I should probably give it, but it's what I'm giving it. It's not something that I go out and necessarily buy again after all. It is on closeout. I don't know if the A Turrent line is basically disappearing. I know they're from Altadas. They also have the Tiamo brands. So I don't know if A Turrent's being replaced by Tiamo or whether A Turrent's just gone. So
I wanted to say to you all, because the Classico is a great cigar, that I might consider buying the 6x60 just to review that size, but otherwise it would be more so to collect the box. And I give it, just like Aaron, I give it a 92 because it's just a fabulous smoke.
And another reason I only gave it like a 92 was the reason that I know you don't smoke the band or anything, but the band is very, very obnoxious on the Classico because it does get very hard to take off. It tears, and if you wait until you're down to the band to pull it off, you're going to have a real difficult time not destroying your cigar trying to get the band off. They really made a mistake. Whoever glued the ones that we got, they were glued so horribly that it wouldn't even loosen, and you either have to take a razor blade to it or just rip the heck out of it, or hope that it'll slide off somehow without destroying it. So
I wanted to say also, for the record, the Classico was about $50 a box, and it was well worth the money.
I paid
in my opinion.
I paid $44 a box for the Classico. Anyways, that leaves us just the Delicacy to go. We'll do that at a later date due to the fact we have not actually written our review notes on this. We got another three of these left, something like that. So we still have time to get this one in. Hopefully it won't go the way of the Chillin' Moose and we forget. But we'll be doing that one next month as we have plans to get it on the 3rd of the month, I think it is.
Yes, so
for the weekend.
Please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestion. And may God bless you, may God bless me, may God bless the world. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.